So today I'll be talking about parachute science in Hawaii. So let's start with some definitions. What is parachute science? I think we can kind of imagine, but just to have a real definition, it's the practice of obtaining data and resources from other entities, usually other countries, while not returning those outputs or benefits. But if you take a look at who are actually the authors of the work that is coming out here, this stacked bar graph basically from 1975 to 2020 in the case of Indonesia, or 1986 to 2020 in the case of the Philippines, what it's showing you is what authors are from that nation. Okay, and so not included is in black. So there are whole years where there were no authors from that country included, or how many authors, all of them, are from all of those nations, right? So that would indicate a local university or a local entity. Very, very few, okay? It looks like it's improving, but not really super well. And so what this means is that Western science, as it's currently practiced, and we heard this, right, in really beautiful detail from the morning presentation, can be extractive in nature. How much science conducted in and on the Hawaiian Islands actually serves local communities. That is our long-term goal. So as expected, from this 20-year period of time, publications are over the past 3 decades, sorry, bad math, it's actually 3 decades, 30 years, publications increased, and that means that the amount of research on Hawaii has increased over time. Shockingly, this growth is driven by external authorship. Yeah. And actually, over the past 30 years, it's basically flatlined. That means that even though a lot of people are coming to Hawaii and researching, not even us guys at the University of Hawaii are benefiting from this research. So that's not only problematic for our local communities, that's problematic for our research enterprise as well. Okay, so what we can do is, that's absolute numbers. We can look at this proportionally, and we can see that we have a large increase in authorship. It is coming with a large decrease in Hawaii-based authorship over time. And this is a pretty crazy decline over time. How can we explain these trends? Part of the trends might be an increase in data accessibility for external researchers. And what we're talking about is like secondary data mining on data sets that have been published and are publicly available. It means you don't even have to have a connection to Hawaii to be able to use that information. And some of you might think, that's great, that's the definition of open data. And some of you might think, okay, but that's a weird feeling to feel like all this data about us we don't have any say in what is being published.